Mic checks echo, I'm the sound of the brawl. Canvas creaks, flesh slaps, bodies rise and fall. Steel cage dreams, no escape. All pain, blood stains mixed with the sweat and the chain. Adrenaline surging my veins, spit fire. Crowd chants feeding my soul's desire. Turnbuckles tremble when my wrath collides. Glory's the belt and I'm taking the pride. Boom. The squared circle where legends collide. Boom. No mercy, just a wild ride. Boom. Like flash, fist clash, can't resist. Boom. The squared circle digest. Pyros ignite, shadows dance in the glow. Ringside roar, it's a gladiator show. Chokeholds tighter than the grip of the night. Climbing the ropes to new championship heights. The mat's a battlefield, no room for doubt. Every move calculated, every scream a shout. The bell tolls louder than a sinner's regret. This is the place where the bold never forget. Boom. The squared circle where legends collide. Boom. No mercy, just a wild ride. Boom. Like flash, fist clash, can't resist. Boom. The squared circle digest. Boom. The squared circle where legends collide. Boom. No mercy, just a wild ride. Boom. Like flash, fist clash, can't resist. Boom. The squared circle digest. Circle Digest!
Thursday, the place to be. It is the Squared Circle Digest. I'm listening to something Frankie just sent over on Instagram there. Another reel. This guy's always sending me information. I get inundated with information from the great Frankie Fresco. It is Thursday. We fooled you all. We didn't go Tuesday. No. Not Wednesday. No. We went Thursday, but we were not on Tuesday because of me. And then Frankie had you did another run? Is that correct? Or
yeah, I actually did. So we actually did a 5K run yesterday.
That's awesome.
It was the first run for my mom. So my mom, shout out to my mom. She 69 years old and did a 5K.
That is awesome, man.
Putting it on
What was the 5K? What was the 5K? Was it a thing, or did you guys just do it on your own, or what was it?
It was for the Celsius Formula One.
Okay.
Aston Martin 5K run. So we were we were right in front of Pier 5 in Bayside.
Okay.
And the race started right there in Pier 5. Well, in front of Pier 5, like in the outside, and then we ran throughout the whole area, which was really good, man. It was a very good looking like scenery. Like I kind of liked it. I was like, oh, maybe I'll start running here just without having to do the 5K, just do it on my own, because it was pretty cool. But they gave us free shirts. I'm gonna be wearing my shirt to play soccer. That's one of the reasons why. Today we're doing it a little bit early because after we're done here, I gotta run and take a shower and then go play soccer. And then and they also gave us like Celsius drinks, and they gave us like little. Oh, I should have brought it. It's in the car actually. They gave us like little duffel bags, like a little duffel. You know those bags that you could stick in like a whole bunch of like I don't know, like when you go travel bag and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Dude, and it's leather. It says Aston Martin on it. It was really good. It was free.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the F1 stuff usually it's not, you're not going to Walmart, buddy. All right? You're not at the Walmart 5K.
No, and then
if it's F1 related, it's pretty good stuff, man. You're not getting the free Frisbee and stuff.
No, and then on top of that, besides also doing that, they also were giving out drinks. So there was an after party. So after everybody ran, there was an after party, and then there was DJ. There was a DJ spinning up Pier 5. Nobody like well known, but he was doing his thing. It was like two guys there spinning, and then they were giving free beer and then free drinks. I didn't drink. I was there with my old man and my mom. My dad did not run. My brother had gotten a ticket for him to run as well. But my dad, he has a messed up knee, so he wouldn't been able to handle it. But
so let me get this right: you don't pressure your dad with bad knees. But you'll pick on a fat guy with bad knees.
Well, my dad is 72 years old. How old are you, Sean?
I'm close enough.
I highly doubt you're.
I'm closer to him than you are.
Yes, but I highly doubt you're somewhere around the 70s. So yeah, that's the only reason. But it wasn't like we still want to push him. I like
Yeah.
my brother gave him the ticket and we was like, "Yo, let's do it." But my dad can't do it. He's older. But shout out to my mom. My mama is a trooper, bro. Dude, she's a trooper. We finished. We weren't like we were towards the very.
No, dude, who cares, man? You finished, bro.
Exactly that. The goal was
Man.
to finish. That's all.
Yeah. Yeah, man. You're not out there trying to, you guys are out there trying to, get the top score or top time or anything, man. That's awesome. Well, a lot going on in the world of pro wrestling. We're going to get things started in the world of AEW. And they've got a new champion. He's a fighting champion, by the way. He took on Brody King this week. And then there's MJF. I'm not sure where that's going. But Frankie Fresco. And then kudos to Frankie Fresco. I'll pull the curtain back here because if the topics are bad, it's his fault, all right? But, no, I'm just kidding. Frankie came up with a lot of topics for tonight, so we should be pretty enthralled with some information here tonight, talking the latest news and rumors. Adrian in, Papa in. If you're watching us on Twitch, Facebook, X, don't forget to jump over to the Stanley Media House Network YouTube channel or the Frankie Fresco channel. Oh, actually, not or. And hit them both up. Hit the subscribe, hit the notifications. A lot going on. And Adrian, what's going on, my man? Good to see you there. So, Frankie, where do you want to go with this? You want to start with the good, the champ, or the bad MJF? Which way you want to go here?
Okay, so let's start first with MJF, right? So MJF, unfortunately, yesterday actually, he lost again. That's back-to-back losses for him. Obviously, they weren't 100% clean, I guess you could say, because obviously, there was some low blows hit on MJF. But at the end of the day, this is another loss for MJF. And I feel like they're still doing a storyline where you can include MJF as eventually getting another shot at the title.
Yeah.
My question to you is, do you like this storyline? Do you like MJF taking L's? And do you like MJF possibly taking more L's in order to eventually get to Darby Allin?
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing with MJF, he can handle the L's as long as they're done, properly. Again, if it's a storyline, it's going back, he's getting what he's dealt. He's kind of receiving back what he's been giving out. I think it's a good storyline going that way. If you're just going to pile L's on him to pile L's on him, one, I'd have to ask what the hell happened. He's your biggest contributor as far as ratings goes, honestly, and he fights for you. I mean, hell, him and Carlos Silva they're going back and forth. I mean, you're calling the president of TNA a liar. I mean, you know what I'm saying? And again, some of it may be, some of it may not be, however you want to look at that. But yeah, I think he can take some L's right now. The problem's going to be is the problem I do have is, AEW, they got storylines. They do long-term storytelling on certain things. They turn things around a lot, but they're not so good at keeping, although the stuff with MJF, they've been very good at keeping up with. So maybe this time I'm going to go with it. I'm going to see how it plays out. I'll reserve judgment for a couple more weeks and see how this goes.
Well, my question,
but I'm still not happy they took the belt off of him. I just think I don't like that.
My question to you or to the wrestling fan out there of AEW is like, how are you going to take so many losses and then eventually get another shot at the main, championship belt? Especially since, it looks like this is the route they're going. He just took an L. He lost his belt. He lost the belt to Darby Allin. Now he loses to Kevin Knight, and Kevin Knight gets a shot now at Darby Allin at Collision. So, like, if you keep losing and losing and losing, I'm interested to see where they're gonna go with this.
Go with it, yep.
Because it's kind of hard for you to go ahead and give him a belt or a title shot if you feel like he hasn't earned it. Like he just he's been losing, not straightforward. He's been losing because they've kind of like used his strategy of like kind of screwing him over to win. But Tony Khan don't care about that, and neither do any of us. So at the end of the day, I'm curious to see where they're gonna go with this,
Yeah.
and see if and I'm also interested to see if this is gonna hurt him in the long run, because one thing that could happen with him is that his momentum might go down. A lot of people might lose steam because of taking so many losses, to the point where fans are gonna probably not care whether he's on the program or not. So they've got to be very, very
You
careful.
got to tread lightly. You got to tread lightly. But again, if he's losing the way he has been winning, you can turn that into a story. Now you can't go 6 months and then you need the payoff to be rather quickly. But the thing with AEW is there's usually a month and a half, maybe 2 months at times between pay-per-views. Whereas with WWE, it's almost like every 4 weeks you're turning it over because of a thing. So you can go a little bit longer if you're trying to get a story across, but you don't want to wait too long, as you said, because then, you start losing some of the luster.
Correct. Now, talking about the opposite end, right, which is Darby Allin. Now, Darby Allin wins. He beat Brody. So he beat Tommaso Ciampa. And now he's going up against Kevin Knight. So, I don't know if you saw yesterday's Dynamite, but he got destroyed for the most part in that match.
Yeah.
The whole time. And towards the end, he actually won. Maybe made a move here or there, and then obviously he did like 20,000 casket drops, and there you go. Realistically, are you bought into this? Because it just doesn't seem like realistically this would happen. I know it's wrestling, but realistically, getting beat up to the ground to at the end come up with a win, is this where they're going with this Darby Allin championship run? Or do you feel that maybe at one point in time, Darby Allin, it's gonna bite him in the butt to the point where he could actually even get hurt because of the way he's taking a beating, and it could throw off this whole storyline of Darby being the champion for AEW.
Yeah, my thing is, see, with Darby, this is the way you have to go, especially when he versus the Brody Kings. He doesn't need to get his butt whooped the whole time against Kevin Knight now. It should be more of a back and forth. It's almost like, back in the day when WWF or WWE, it might have been at the time, put Bret Hart as the champion. When he was the face, he took a lot of punishment. But he also, when he versed regulars, your Shawn Michaels, it was a back and forth match. When he versed Yokozuna, whatever, he took a lot of punishment. So you can get away with it at times depending on who you're going to be. The problem is, man, I feel with Darby is it's really the empathy is what gets him over with the fans. The just getting beat down and then watching him come back, the resilience that he has is what makes him, and again, look, for everything Darby has done for AEW, he deserves a run. I don't know if that run should have been now. I don't know what the impact and everything is at this point. I don't know if MJF is going to do something. Maybe, again, there's things that we don't know because we're not in the office or in the room or with whatever they're doing. It just felt odd to me that you just had MJF kind of run Hangman Page out, beat Kenny Omega, and then lose to Darby Allin. And I get it. It was in his hometown and all that. But again, MJF went through Adam Page and Kenny Omega, and Darby now beats that guy, MJF, and he goes through Tommaso Ciampa and now Brody King with Kevin Knight on the mend. I don't know what they're doing. I don't understand where they're going with it. I mean, again, I don't go bell to bell, intro to outro of AEW TV. I don't. So maybe I might have missed something, but it feels like there's something being forced a little bit here, and I don't know what that is as far as. And again, Darby deserves a run as a champion for everything he's done as with AEW. Understand that. I don't know if now was the time to pull that string.
I agree, man. I think it's kind of rough that you have your main guy go out there and get his ass kicked every single day. And then to the point where, am I bought into this? To the fact that, is my champ supposed to get beat down? Because, I mean, yes, he might have a better run with Ciampa and he could hang with Kevin Knight. But then what about the likes of Kenny Omega? What about the likes of Jon Moxley? What about the likes of Will Ospreay? Those guys are better than him. Can Darby win matches over these guys? These guys are, I mean, no disrespect to Darby Allin, but they're better than him. I mean, I feel bad for him because I know he did. I know CM Punk, when CM Punk was in AEW, had that fight with Darby Allin, but and obviously the matches are good. But this is your champion. For you to go ahead and just have him lose, would make sense. But then at the same time, if you have him beating all these guys, I think you're kind of downgrading your roster. You're kind of saying, hey, if Darby Allin, it's like going ahead and saying, let's say, I don't want to disrespect anybody.
It's like the analogy that
let's say,
okay.
well, Tajawa is not. Well, Darby's better than Tajawa,
Yeah.
but somebody around that size, or JD McDonough, which JD McDonough is not a bad. He's not a bad wrestler, but it's like JD McDonough being your champion and then beating Roman Reigns, beating Brock Lesnar when he was there, beating Cody Rhodes. Like, can you still those that? I mean,
but there is one difference, though. There is one difference in that. JD McDonough is not pushed as a pillar of WWE, whereas Darby has always been pushed as, I always call you Mr. AEW. I think if Tony Khan could pick a Mr. AEW, it would probably be Darby. And that's where the only different, talent level, I think you're pretty accurate there. But I think Darby means more to AEW. And again, this is where it goes to the... See, I'm going to sound like a jack here on this one.
And what's up, Cap for life?
Yeah, Cap, how you doing, my man? And you're right, he probably won't make it to 50. And Danhausen did steal. He stole the Miz's Slammy. It's indie-ish to me because you want your shows to be more mainstream, not the cult guy. To me, MJF is the mainstream guy. Kenny Omega, mainstream guy. Jon Moxley, mainstream guy. Darby, more of a cult guy. He's that horror movie that comes out and fails miserably in the theaters, but then it becomes a cult classic. That is Darby.
Okay, let me ask you this, because I suck in memories. You guys know that I always butcher names and all that all the time. I'll be like, who's this guy? Do you remember who am I talking about? This is whatever. The run that Bryan Danielson had, the run that Rey Mysterio had, was it very similar to this? Because I don't recall them getting their asses kicked left and right when they were heavyweight champions, if I'm not mistaken. They had their run and they were. No,
they didn't. I mean, they got their asses whooped, but not like where
not like
90% of the match and then you get the victory at the end. I mean, it's back and forth. Usually it goes babyface gets the beginning to put yourself over, which would have been Bryan Danielson, Ray. Then you kind of get beat around. You get a couple false hope finishes and things like that, and then you go home. If you're going to win or you're going to lose. It's kind of how it rolls out. For Darby, he does a couple crazy bumps at the beginning, then he gets beat down for 80% of the match, and it's like 10-80-10 is kind of the Darby, it feels like, especially when he versus Brody. Now, again, we'll see how it goes when he versus Kevin Knight. I want to see how this match is laid out and all that. So I'll reserve judgment for a couple more weeks to see how it plays out. But right now, I don't like it, and I know everybody's gonna be like, "Oh, because you're not an AEW guy." No, I used the analogy last week or a couple weeks ago. If the two companies right now, and you know what, even let's see, do this. The three top companies right now threw out their champions to an autograph signing or a meet and greet. Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, Darby Allin, Mike Santana.
You could tell that Roman would be first, Cody would be second, and Mike Santana would probably be third, compared to Darby Allin.
And that's the face of your company. That's where, again, that's business side. Business side. I'm not talking about the cult AEW diehard fans. Darby deserves a shot, a run with the title. I don't know if now was the time for the shot. That's the only part that I will go with. I mean, I know he's a great talent. I know he take a beating. I know he can go through glass and keep ticking.
Yeah.
But that don't make you the face that runs the place.
And what Clap says is true. If he keeps getting beat down like this, he's not gonna last. And he's a defending. He is a fighting champion. He says that he wants to fight consistently. So now let me ask you this. Obviously, we don't agree with Darby being right now the champion, but he is.
But let me ask you this. Oh, go do your question. Sorry, I was going to ask you, but I know you're coming with a question.
Do you prefer this Darby Allin from AEW defending the belt consistently, or do you prefer a Cody Rhodes or Roman Reigns who barely goes ahead and defends the championship belt? And if we switch roles, would that help Darby? Would that help Roman? Would that help Cody?
But see, to me, and this is where I'm gonna say one thing and then contradict myself on the next thing, okay? Because as a fan, I want to see the champion wrestle every week. I do.
Okay.
But that's why you have a TNT title. That's why you have a US title. That's why you have a Intercontinental title. So a title is defended every week on TV, your tag team titles. The heavyweight champion should be an attraction. I know in this day and age you want results and you want everything and you want that. But there's still got to be that one thing that, like, oh, if I want to watch Roman wrestle, I've got to go to the pay-per-view. If I want to watch this guy, I have to go there. It's like what we talk about with Chris Jericho. If he wrestles just on pay-per-views, I'm fine. But I don't need to see him every week. And with Darby, I think it emphasizes even more that he shouldn't be every week because your champion is getting beat down every week.
100%, man.
So make it, you know what? But I love seeing the heavyweight title on TV. But again, you could make it like promos and things like that, and you can make it physical promos, but then I don't see Darby get beat for 25 minutes in a match. I can get beaten six minutes, talk and get beaten 6 minutes. But this is where it also goes. This is another part that I don't know. Darby cuts an okay promo. Does he cut a championship promo? He's not MJF. He's not. I mean, he's got snide remarks. He's got the comebacks. I just, if he had to go mano a mano with somebody, can he carry his own?
I mean, look, I agree with you 100% that your champion should not fight every show, every weekly show. They shouldn't. It should be an attraction. I think I see where Tony Khan is going with Darby Allin when it comes to like dropping him off, like Sting back in the day and all that stuff. If he some way somehow can sell us, and I think that's where I'm a little bit disappointed, and I agree with you 100% that they rushed it to give it to him. If they would have made him like more of a supernatural type of champion, I could understand. Like, oh snap, this guy is like supernatural. That's why he could pull out these wins against these heavy, big dogs out there. You could sell it to me that way, but getting your ass kicked and then winning, I feel like that's kind of like putting down your champion. And then on top of that, weekly fights every week. I mean, he fought on Wednesday. Now he's fighting on Saturday on Collision. So he's fighting twice a week. So then when you're going to sell us on a pay-per-view, what are we going to see? We're going to see, again, Darby Allin versus MJF. Like, we already saw that. You feel me? We saw that on a Wednesday Dynamite. So it's just, I agree. It does need to be some control. And if we did the same thing with the opposite side with WWE, Roman Reigns, I feel like it wouldn't be bad to see a Roman fight here once in a blue moon on a Monday Night Raw. I don't think it's bad for them.
But what you do is,
I feel the same way for Cody. But again, just do it once. You're not gonna.
but also what you could do is make it tag team matches, so then Darby doesn't have to get beat up for 30 minutes. He might get beat up for 10. Make the tag, and the same with like Cody and Roman, because I know how WWE thinks. You're never gonna get Roman on a SmackDown or a Raw defending the title unless it's a Netflix debut or something like that. Like, you're not getting that. Just like I don't think you'll get a Cody on SmackDown on USA Network unless it's a tag team match, which then the title's not on the line, but your champion is fighting, and then you can kill both. You can kill a bird with two stones.
They have done. Remember Drew McIntyre and Cody when they made.
Yeah, but that was to get the belt off of Drew, and the only way they could do it was to do it then because they had to set up for the next the Randy.
There was one match I remember I believe as well when Cody fought against Carmelo and he was already the champion at that time and he gave Carmelo a shot because Carmelo was getting moved up from NXT.
Yeah.
So they have done it with Cody. I don't think they will get it with Roman. Roman is just too much of an attraction. But if I feel
But I also think that was in Atlanta, Georgia, which is Cody's hometown, which is why he versed Carmelo that day, and Carmelo coming up. I think it was a twofold thing there with that one.
So, I mean, I think WWE could probably do it with Cody. I don't think they're going to do it with Roman. And I think AEW needs to slow it down with Darby, especially the way he's getting his ass kicked and then just at the end just winning. I don't know how long that guy can tolerate, his body can hold, man. That's rough, man. I mean, after watching that match last night, I was like, damn, this guy's getting his ass kicked really bad. And I'm happy. The respect is there, Brody gave him his respect and everything, but I don't know, man. I don't know if I could have my champ get his ass kicked that much and then just not, be able
and Eric said, now, I really don't get it. The ultimate end game for All In should be the ultra babyface Ospreay winning the title.
And I will tell you something, Eric, and all you guys who are tuning in, don't forget to hit the like, don't forget to hit the subscribe on both of our channels. I like the storylines that they're doing. They're doing I don't know if you noticed, but the Chris Jericho was good. And they're beating him backstage. He didn't wrestle, so that was good.
That's perfect,
I enjoyed that. And now they're leading up to the point where maybe they're gonna have to. Chris Jericho's gonna have to find somebody to help him out because he's getting his ass kicked by Ricochet and his group. And then the whole story of Moxley and Will Ospreay now joining his group, I kind of liked that. I was digging it. I was like, okay, this is not bad. They're being creative with this. They need to work on the women, but overall, it was very creative the way they had that. And then obviously, I'm intrigued to see where they're going with this MJF. But again, like a lot of people are saying, Darby, he's good, but he shouldn't. And I feel bad saying this, but he shouldn't be your champion. It should be, Will Ospreay, the Okadas. I mean, look, that story with Okada and Takeshita is really good. So they got some really good storylines. I just feel like on this one they're a little bit.
Well, and also, when is All In?
All In.
It's in UK, right?
Yes, this year it is
Wembley, right?
It is outside in Europe, for AEW this year. Yes.
And when is that? When does that roll around? Is it July?
It is on All In 2026 is scheduled for Sunday, August the 30th at Wembley Stadium, London, England.
Okay, so there's still 4 months to, or what was it? August what? I'm sorry.
30th.
Oh, so exactly 4 months from today.
Yeah, today's the 30th. Yes.
Yeah. So there's time then. Okay. I'll let this play out because I was gonna say, like, if it's only like a month or two away, you got to start. Ospreay needs to start playing into this some way.
Hold on, let me ask you something. Do you feel now that you bring up All In, do you feel Darby holds the belt all the way to All In?
I hope not.
Okay. All right. One last thing. We'll breeze through it very quickly. Your thoughts about MJF and Carlos Silva, the controversy that's going on. Just get your opinion on it. I'll chime in as well. I'll throw something out. But if you guys don't know, obviously Carlos Silva was interviewed by Busted Open. Carlos Silva, the guy from TNA, holding it down over there, took off some guys out of the match, took full responsibilities, took out Ricochet from that match, took out Nick Nemeth out of that match. MJF called him out, saying he's a liar, bullshit, and all that stuff. Your 2 cents, sir.
I mean, I don't know necessarily that he's lying. I don't think he's telling everything, necessarily the way. But again, also, I get that Tony Khan is not in charge of moving shows, but every time they move their show, it's on Thursday night, which is in competition with TNA. TNA did Thursday night because every other night was basically taken. So they went to a night where there was no wrestling and said, we'll make this our show, our day for our show. WBD said, well, we got shows going on at this time, so we're going to move you and put you on Thursdays. So, again, if you want to look at that as AEW did that, technically you can. And the other part of it, Carlos Silva pulled his TNA contracted wrestlers out of their matches. They're contracted to them. So therefore, I'm not going to sit there and go. And again, I don't know what. I know I heard Leon Slater was supposed to win. I don't know what the Nick Nemeth thing was. And I don't think it goes down as win or losses. When you hear him talk, he said, look, there's buildings we can't run now because AEW is running them. They're running the same size buildings. So yes, ultimately, I don't think AEW is doing it on purpose, but it does fall in line with, because if you book a building and run AEW Dynamite, TNA can't come in the month after and run the same building. You got to wait. So I think there's some fluidity to all this, but also I think, again, feelings get hurt. It's business. There was other tensions, I think, already from TNA because of what happened with AEW before. And I think it's amplified that much. And again, whether he's lying or not, I don't know what the whole situation is. But again, that's what he's perceiving it as. And one man's perception is his reality.
Okay. I'm going to be more blunt. I feel he's screwed himself over. I feel that he had an agreement with WWE for NXT. That was the whole situation. When all of a sudden you see TNA wrestlers going and having matches with AEW wrestlers, that's your competition. TKO doesn't like competition. TKO wants to take over everything. I've noticed that. They got to make money, and it doesn't look good that TNA and AEW are working together. So I have the feeling, and now this is just my opinion. I'm not saying that there's any facts to this. I feel TKO went and talked to Carlos Silva and told him, yo, get him out of there. Because at the end of the day, you have no business doing with them. We have an agreement with NXT. If you're going to go behind our back and go and do another business relationship with another company, then why did we even in the first place have a relationship with you?
Here's the thing.
I'm the type of person who's going to be like, screw it. This is what we agreed on. You can't just throw away our agreement. And he knows at the end of the day, whether he likes it or not, he's going to get more for his buck with NXT, even though it's not the main roster, than with AEW. Especially...
I agree with that, but here's the thing. The problem I have with that is it was AEW versus TNA. If you want to book it that way. It wasn't even being booked that way, but if you want to book it that way. So, for TKO to be like, oh, now if they ran a joint show, AEW and TNA, that I could say, we're going to nip that in the bud.
Well,
Leon Slater might have been a TKO decision because they want Leon Slater. That may have been a TKO decision, but I don't think Nick Nemeth necessarily was a get him off the show or we're gonna I just don't think that those guys are. that means that much to business either way. Like and
think
again,
so.
I could be totally wrong on this, but I mean, for them to be like, oh, if Nick Nemeth and Leon Slater does that, we pull our deal for NXT. When's the last time you've seen a TNA person on NXT?
Yeah, it's been a minute.
So I mean,
It's been a minute. But even though NXT you don't want to hurt your relationship with WWE. That's the reason why. And I feel that WWE went ahead and probably mentioned this to them and say, hey, look, if you work with these people, you're probably not gonna work with us moving forward. Look at what I think Vince Russo mentioned it before, where when and now this was Vince McMahon. It wasn't when TKO wasn't, but I'm not surprised. I think TKO is worse than Vince McMahon. When Vince Russo was gonna leave to WCW, Vince McMahon told him, he's like, hey, you're trash if you ever come back. The grass is not always green on the other side, so you're trash. You're not gonna be anything here if you leave. So I'm not surprised if TKO does the same thing with other companies. Say, hey, look, you are gonna work with the competition. That's fine, but you're burning your bridges because in the long run, we might want to work again together. You had some success with us. AJ Styles went out there. Trick Williams was out there. Kalani Jordan was your champion. All this stuff, and they were getting your belt was being seen in our network as well, in our fans, our people, and some of them actually tuned into you and probably stayed being TNA fans. So if you want to burn our bridges, that's perfectly fine. But this
again, this was for two different companies. Like again, if it was a Tony Conran show or a TNA show and they're bringing AEW into the fold, I could see that more happening as far as
I think TKO
it goes.
I think TKO is very petty.
Here's the other thing too. If they miss that booking, TNA's got to pay them for that booking because that's part of the deal. Because they're paid by TNA. So I mean, it's not like you can just sit there and be like, no, you're not doing that show. And no, it's going to cost them because Nick Nemeth and Leon Slater both lost money.
Yeah.
So.
All right. So now let's move on to the WWE side and let's talk a little bit about WWE. Now, going back to WrestleMania, obviously, not a lot of fans were too happy about what happened. A lot of people weren't happy with the storylines. Well, it came out recently was that Jelly Roll actually mentioned out saying that himself and Pat had no business being in WrestleMania. He went on paper to say that. Your opinion about this, if these guys, Jelly Roll and Pat McAfee, both kind of like expressed their thoughts saying, hey, look, we don't need to be in wrestling anymore. It wasn't working out, right? I guess it wasn't working out and stuff like that. And they kind of figured their lane. Hey, I got to go back to my sports. I need to go back to singing. To you, what does that tell you about future attractions, like bringing some of these guys outside of the WWE world and bringing them some artists and sports figures into the WWE world? Are they going to lay off from that? Because it looked like WWE was pushing a lot for that recently. And number two is, what does that say about Triple H? Did Triple H make the right decision? Was he the one going ahead and bringing these guys on board and giving the okay on it? Or was it TKO doing all these moves?
I mean, it doesn't say anything about Triple H. Just signed a deal where he's there. He just signed an extension. Dude ain't going nowhere. So if it says anything about him, I mean, you got layoffs and everything else going on, and he's
let me ask
he's signing his deal.
Let me ask you something, sir. If you go ahead and sign a contract with WWE, aren't they capable of breaking their contract after a certain year or so? Is there any
for talent? Yeah, but for executives, no. Executives are. I mean, I'm sure you can buy him out, but he's going to make his money.
Okay, but you could buy him out though, right?
Yeah, if you want to, but I don't think they want to because here's the thing: TKO wanted the mainstream. Triple H had to figure out a way to use them.
Okay.
The problem was Pat McAfee, or however you want to look at it, had enough respect, however you want to look at this, for the business side of this and the way wrestling goes to say, you know what? I'm taking away from the main attraction because it's now become Pat McAfee instead of Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes. And I think they decided and bowed out gracefully. And then that's why I think the Saturday match didn't live up to what some people thought, because I think it ruined a lot of what was supposed to happen, I guess, in a way. And here's the next thing I got to say to you about this whole thing because when you brought up the Jelly Roll thing, did you see the latest rumor that came out?
Oh, what was it?
You see the SummerSlam poster?
I do.
This is from WrestleVotes, okay?
Okay.
Do you notice anything?
I'm looking.
I didn't notice it. I had to go and figure and be told I didn't notice it. I'll tell you now. I mean, I'm not trying to test you on any of this. I just want you to.
I mean, the
see.
only one I see is Trick Williams in the middle.
See, you did exactly what I did. I looked at the performers, right?
Yeah, Trick Williams.
It's not. Look down underneath the advertising here. You see this little thing right here?
Wait, are you highlighting it?
Well, I got a cursor on it. I don't know if you can see my cursor.
I can't see your cursor.
Okay, so there's a hashtag underneath the SummerSlam poster. Do you want to know what that hashtag says for SummerSlam, August 1st and August 2nd?
What does it say? I'm curious now. Bring back Jelly Roll? No way. Why would they put that there? What's the point behind that? Are they trying to trend this? Are they trying to make
I
it a
don't know
trend?
what's going on. That's what I'm saying, though. It's like, again,
And who the hell put that?
that was from WrestleVotes. That was out from WrestleVotes today.
I don't know about that, man. I think that's dumb. I don't look, man. I feel like some of these guys need to stay in their lanes. Like a lot of people are giving Little Yachty credit, like left and right. Look, man. Granted, he's invested. He's in there, I guess. But come on, man. You're not a wrestler. You're a freaking performer. You're a rapper. Go handle your rap situation. Go do albums. Go do your rap stuff. You could stay from the outside. I feel like you can't put all that energy and put it in there. I mean, the only guy I've seen that has transitioned to the point where, damn, he has made it a career now outside of whatever he did before is Logan Paul. That's the only guy I've realized that, like, oh, this guy actually took it serious, trained. Hey, let me go ahead and become a wrestler and let me do this full time. I don't see Little Yachty doing that crap. Jelly Roll was practicing and stuff like that, but he still needs a long way to go. I feel like these main attraction artists and celebrities, they need to stay in their lane. I have no problem with them coming every once in a blue moon. Like what Bench used to do. You had the Mike Tysons, you had the Dennis Rodmans in WCW. You had all those guys. But then you're going to find the ones that you're like, hey, get him out of here. Like the Karl Malones. Like, come on, we need him out of here. The Travis Scotts, we don't need that guy. You need to figure out, hey, there's a point, there's a time and place for it too. And it can't just keep. So if this is something that WWE wants to continue doing, where they're going to bring back Jelly Roll and they're going to bring back more artists, the Cardi B's of the world, the Little Yachty still is annoying as hell, will still be around, then you know what? It's going to tune me off because at the end of the day, I don't see them in the wrestling business. I don't take them serious. I take them as like they're supposed to be there just for the fun. I don't mind them being in the audience. I don't mind them being in the first row, any of that stuff. But just being consistently in the storylines, I don't like it, man. That's just my opinion.
I mean, it becomes mainstream. Remember, when they needed to produce WrestleMania, they needed to market WrestleMania. What did they do? They took Hulk Hogan. They took Mr. T. They did Saturday Night Live. They got in with Cyndi Lauper. They got in with MTV. They did everything they could to make it mainstream. Different audiences, Little Yachty, Jelly Roll. You know, there's different ways you can go about it to get to certain things. Now, do I want to see them in every angle and everything to be about them? No. But again, this is where it becomes sports entertainment. The entertainment aspect of it still needs to be looked at, and that's where, to me, the jelly rolls and things like that, because they bring different eyes onto a product. Now, do I want Jelly Roll in a full feud with Randy Orton? No. Do I want Jelly Roll in any type of feud with anybody? No. But there can be a time, like Little Yachty being the mouthpiece and feeding off of Trick Williams. I got no problem with that. And he sits there and he takes his butt whooping. I mean, look at what he did. All he does is get a loofah kicked all the time or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So ultimately, I think,
Here's my thing. I think the problem with TKO, if they start bringing these guys more into the storylines, is that the entertainment portion is starting to overtake the wrestling. You can't have too much entertainers, celebrities, all this stuff involved in it, because then you're losing the respect of the wrestling. I want wrestling. I don't want to see Jelly Roll wrestle. I don't want to see Little Yachty get haluva kicked. That's fine once in a blue moon, but every single time Trick comes out, there's Little Yachty. I don't need to see Little Yachty every single time. You could bring Little Yachty every pay-per-view or whatever, but you don't have to bring him every single time, because then he also kills the vibe. I don't know about you, but for me, it annoys me when all of a sudden everybody's singing "Whoop That Trick," and then you have him with his voice screaming in the background, annoying everybody else, saying, "Yeah, and all this stuff, yeah, whoop that trick," and all. No, man, I don't want to hear that. It kills the vibe. I want to see Trick Williams. That's who I want to see. I don't want to see Little Yachty. And that's just me. But again, everybody has their own opinion. I feel like the entertainment part is superseding the wrestling. And we're getting that. We're getting that more and more with the commercials. Now we're getting it with the celebrities and the artists and all these people. I'm just looking at in the future, like, what's happening with WWE?
It's become money. It's greed, bro. That's the whole thing. It's greed. I guarantee you soon what you're going to end up getting with WWE is what who was it that wanted to do, was it boxing or was it MMA?
That wanted to do what?
They wanted to have concerts and then mix it in between for intermission acts. You did like a boxing or a wrestling or things like that. You're going to ultimately get, I think you're going to have that's what you're going to get.
That would be terrible, man.
You're going to have concerts. You're going to have performances. You're going to have matches. You're going to have.
This is not wrestling.
Because the thing will be money talks. Netflix will buy that. Streaming services will pay for it, and it's not about whatever, because they'll get their money regardless, because it's going to be paid for before you get it. Like right now, they're talking about WrestleMania, the next one in Nashville. Yeah. Who makes sense to be there in Nashville to host that? Jelly Roll.
Unfortunately.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's, again.
And that's fine. You could use them as a host, but not in the storylines. That's what kills it. You start putting them too much into it, and that's what kills wrestling.
Yes, but if they would have done what I told them to do, because Triple H don't listen to me, damn it, you could have made it something. Instead, you and again, I don't know how it happened. I don't know if this is a storyline. I don't know, whatever it is. Mm-hmm. But Pat McAfee and Jelly Roll bowed down to the criticism they were getting online. And I feel like if you would have done something more here, you could have had more. Instead, it ended up being Pat McAfee coming out to get put through a table by Jelly Roll, and then coming out to officiate, and then getting RKO'd. Like, it just made no... You would have been better off not even bringing McAfee out, or have McAfee do 1-2, and then stick it to Randy Orton, and then Randy Orton can RKO him. It made no... Out of nowhere, why did Randy Orton RKO him?
I don't know.
They just dropped everything. Again, even if he showed up on, Friday on SmackDown or whatever, and been like, and also, I mean, again, I don't know how hurt Randy was. Again, a lot of things go into this stuff, but you could have worked around some things, and I feel like, I don't know. And again, if that is true, and they want to do this whole hashtag, bring Jelly Roll back or whatever, like, I'm hoping it's an AI and somebody added it in there or whatever. I saw it on WrestleVotes and things like that, and it's like, all right, we'll see. I just find it odd and funny.
Well,
that,
let's. You mentioned AI. Am I correct? Did you just mention AI?
Oh, yeah, it's the new thing.
All right. Well, since you mentioned AI, let's jump into that topic.
All right.
AI being used. So the word on the street is that WWE is gonna go ahead and go ham on using AI to do storylines.
Word on the street? What do you mean word on the street? The TKO CEO came out and said they are using AI already with storylines and reactions and fans' reaction. They're feeding AI everything to see the pros and the cons of everything. AI is already in everything.
And then obviously you had a promo of AI with Sol Ruca and Zarya on NXT. So where are we going with this, Sean? Why is WWE in this hole? Like, why are they struggling? Like,
they're trying something different to see how it works. Because again, you have to remember.
You have Triple H. That's why you have
Yes, but you have to remember, you have NXT currently at Full Sail University. They teach this stuff there. So why not take advantage of it and say, hey, let's see how this looks, how it works, what the fallout of it is. We put it on NXT. Run it. See what happens. See how it looks. See how it portrays and everything.
Did you like the promo? Let's start there. Did you like the promo of Zarya and Sol Ruca?
I honestly didn't even pay attention to it. Not going to lie to you.
Okay, so if you watch it, it has like effects of her face breaks over, like it breaks into bricks or something, so Ruca's and all that stuff. So for the people who saw the actual promo, it didn't look bad. It looked pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie. My concern is that if you rely on this heavily, then all of a sudden now you're gonna get all these promos very, very similar to AI, where they're unrealistic. You're defeating the purpose. You understand me? I don't mind the graphic designers doing the little, the cool things. That's why you got people to do it. You don't, but this AI thing for the promo, for me,
Frankie,
I think it was too much. It was too much.
Let me ask you something, Frankie. If I can get somebody to do AI and then put little prompts into a thing, and I don't have to pay 13 or 14 graphic designers.
Okay. Yeah.
Exactly. It's greed, bro. That's what's happening. That's what's going to happen.
Everybody's doing it. Like, everybody is doing it, which is terrible. And then it goes to the extreme that now you don't even need people to come up with stories. You're basing it on AI.
No. They are running what if scenarios. If we did this, how would our fans react with the prompts and everything like that? And then ultimately, I'm sure, some of them may work depending on what they're getting. They're just running it through AI to see what their numbers are telling them by what their fans like right now.
Sean,
it's business models now. That's unfortunately where we're going, bro. I mean, that's the gist of it. So why not be in front of it instead of behind it?
Because you're hurting the product. You're hurting the whole concept of wrestling.
What is they're not AIing a Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre match.
What?
They AI'd the promo.
That's where they're going to eventually end up.
It'll get there. It'll get there, I'm sure. Because to me, if I was WWE, what I would have done, they used to have that WWE Bite This, where it used to be a behind the scenes control rooms, and it would just be like a promo show. I would have done that leading up to WrestleMania, and I would have taken WWE 2K26, and I would have reenacted every match, and then said, well, this is what the outcome was. And I would have went with it for WrestleMania.
It's terrible, man.
I don't think it's terrible. I think it's the way it's going.
I'm going to tell you something right now. I just went on ChatGPT. I went ahead and I put, hey, ChatGPT, give me a storyline between the gingerbread man versus Roman. AI literally just popped up and said, acknowledge the crumble. It says on episode 1, Roman Reigns stands in the ring. All of a sudden, you see
Frankie, let me tell you something now.
Look
The
at
people, yes, but the people that are doing AI for WWE and TKO aren't saying, give me a storyline for, they're saying, using our information from
bullshit. They're
this
doing
to
it.
this.
They're gonna do it too, Sean. They're gonna do it as well.
Could you let me finish something real quick?
Go for it.
It would say, using the demographics for our audience, 18 to 54, what would be the reaction to a storyline between the gingerbread man and Roman Reigns for the WWE Championship? Give me the pros, give me the cons. Go. And then you look at it, and you weigh it, and you say, yeah, you know what? Maybe we shouldn't let that cookie crumble.
Okay. All right. Well, hold on a second. Let's flip it around. Let's say the cookie should crumble. Let's say they go ahead and they say, yo, this is a good story. When you send this information to ChatGPT, ChatGPT will go ahead and say, hey, because it told me right here, hey, if you want, I could turn this into a full commentary script, add entrances, music, or mix it some way, somehow with Cody Rhodes and The Rock to make it even crazier. That's what they're going to do, Sean. They're going to go in there and then they're all of a sudden going to be like, you know what? Why do we need writers? Why do we need people to give us stories? AI
Frankie. They use the Chat GPT and AI to get the basis. To get the basis, and then they add the human elements. Sean, it's not like they're going to sit there and be now. Ultimately, maybe we get to that.
Yes, that's.
But it's not there yet. It's not there yet. You'll never have that as of right now. Now, ultimately, TKO is going to be like, well, hell, why do we need writers? Why do we need all this when we could just do this? Now, when it gets to that point, but it's going to be a while because AI is not there yet.
Sean,
you have to.
You're telling me it's going to take a while. They just finished putting a promo on NXT using AI.
A promo, bro. I mean, I could go in and put a prompt and say, give me a 30-second video, use all of this footage, give me a 30-second video between Zarya and Sol Ruca using this, and you give the details, and ultimately, yes, you can get a video produced. But again, it's not. I'm not saying right now is not where they're going to be like, all right, we need a storyline right now for Sol Ruca and Zarya. ChatGPT, what's it going to be? Like, it's not there yet. It might be close.
But notice how you just said it's not there yet. Eventually, it's going to get there. Because
that's where, dude, look at AI now, man. I mean, dude, there's companies that have let people go left and right because of AI. I mean, this isn't a WWE TKO thing. I mean, everybody's using AI.
I understand everybody's using AI, but your WWE is going to eventually, probably most likely, use AI to create storylines. You're asking them to pretty much tell the wrestlers what to do and come up with these ideas. Like, bro, like, come on, man. Where's the whole authenticity of being real? Like, why can't we use wrestlers that the writers have to come up with this stuff?
You have to educate your AI on everything. Like, again, that's like me and you jumping on ChatGPT shouldn't be what TKO and WWE is doing. They should have an AI engineer there and prompting everything to more humanize the thought process of their AI generating machine. It's not like us going to ChatGPT and saying, give a storyline when we've never asked for that to be done before.
But Sean, it could go to that far because there's, especially with, and no
disrespect
to the younger generation, but there's younger generations that when you go to school and you tell AI, hey, AI, can you write my paper for me? And it'll write a freaking paper and they'll turn that in. It just be like, hey, here it is. What makes you think they're not going to take shortcuts like that? They probably are, especially if the fans...
Because you have to train your AI to know your demographics, to know your stories, to know your product.
Sean,
You can't just. It's not like me and you go on and saying make a Pepsi commercial. Like it won't make it the way Pepsi can make an AI commercial. That's the thing.
I just threw this comment between the Gingerbread Man and Roman Reigns, and it was already throwing me like scenarios where we could add Cody.
Yes,
and
because
add
you
The
don't
Rock.
have demographics. You don't have other things that WWE would put in there before asking a crumbled gingerbread man story, Frankie. AI is not just me and you going, hey, give me an idea.
Sean, they just went with the
There's-
Pat McAfee dumbass storyline.
You're right, Frankie. Never mind. You're not going to listen to me, so that's good. It's good, man.
What I'm trying to tell you is that you're making it seem like WWE is gonna go ahead and just use it for their benefit, and that's it. I don't see it as them just using it for their benefit. I feel they're gonna.
I never said it was for their benefit, Frankie. First off, what I said was they will train the AI to put it together in the WWE format, not the Frankie Fresco and Sean Stanley format. There's a way to train your AI. You can make it feel on a human level. You can say as a social media, whatever. I'm sure half their posts on social media are probably coming from AI.
And that's why their product is shitty right now.
Whatever. Okay.
It's the truth. I wouldn't be surprised. Maybe they used AI for the Pat McAfee storyline.
And nothing to do with TKO trying to get Pat McAfee over to Netflix or anything. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, if you're saying the demographics is all of a sudden, hey, the demographics is saying that if we're using for the demographics, for
Frankie,
like,
what I'm saying is, and if you would listen to me, is they take all of the stuff that they, as a company, they get that we don't get, and they plug it into the AI. So the AI starts thinking their company, everything they get. And then they use that to address their ideas. It's not me and you jumping on AI or ChatGPT and saying, hey, create a storyline. WWE is going to be more in depth. I'm not saying it's a benefit. I'm not saying it's a detriment. I'm saying that they are doing it in a more professional way than you're making it sound. They don't just put in Gingerbread Man versus Roman. Give me something. No, they have taken all the demographics, all of the stuff, they put it in. They said, on a human level, tell me the pros and cons of Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre, the pros and cons of Jey Uso turning on Jimmy Uso. And they take all the information from the stuff they have, and then they weigh the options right now. Now, ultimately, will they use that to do storylines? I'm sure, because everybody's doing it now.
Let me ask you this. You said they already went on paper to say that they've been using it, right?
Yeah, to get exactly what I told you.
So they've been using it already, right?
Yes.
Okay. And how have been the storylines recently with all the?
Right. I'm not saying they used the story. Now, again, I'm not saying they did or they didn't use those storylines, but they have used it for those things there.
Correct. And what has been the product since using that information over?
I don't know when they started using it or what they've used it for, so I can't tell you.
Well, we could say that they definitely at least used it for WrestleMania because they had some type of they've already gone on paper to say that, or at least on record to say that they've been using it for something. So if we're using it the same concept, the same way that you're saying, right? Mm-hmm. That WWE is using it for, all right, let's get Roman Reigns, let's get Randy Orton, put them together. AI, tell me how effective this fight would be for the fans. Would the fans be invested in it? Would it not work, et cetera, et cetera? Who's not to say that they haven't been using that already, and this is what they've given us? Shit. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Okay, but then who's to say they've been using it?
Who's to say they haven't?
And this is giving us shit. So I mean,
who's to say they haven't used it? That we know on paper, that at least on record, that they already have said.
I'm not going to say they've used it or they have used it. I mean, I know they've dealt with AI stuff on their things. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying they've been using it. I don't know if they've been using it.
Well, I
know they've used it in some way. Shapiro said about the AI. Hold on a minute. Let me see if I can actually.
Yeah. Okay. So Eric says, if used for stories, AI would probably be helpful with plot holes. Insert the proposed angle and have the algorithm analyze it if it contradicts past established storylines. Again, here's my thing, Eric. You go to
here's what Shapiro said. This is hold hold on a minute. What is his actual title here? TKO President Mark Shapiro confirms the news in Monday's company town hall meeting. WWE's growing use of AI in creative. Sorry, hold on a minute. The following quote from Shapiro, who said, using AI in WWE is a major priority for both efficiency and productivity. Nick Khan and Triple H are using AI for storylines with the WWE, Shapiro said. What's resonating? What superstars are resonating? In what pockets of the country are they resonating? That helps us with, obviously, our content, our editorial, our creative, our mapping, our touring, and, of course, maximizing revenue and getting our product out to the fans most in need of it. He said TKO Chief Financial Officer Andrew Schleimer also spoke at the meeting and seemed to contradict Shapiro's comments, saying they have only run tests and pilots and are in the early days.
And what is Shapiro's position?
Shapiro is the TKO president.
Ah, come on, man. He's the president,
And the chief financial officer said we're still in the early stages.
Yeah,
From the Post, he said he cited the use of AI for data analytics on WWE and UFC consumers, as well as minor uses to enhance broadcasts.
Yeah, the chief probably went to the TKO to Shapiro and told her, "Yo, man, shut your mouth, bro. What the hell are you talking about? You're screwing. You're making this too obvious. Like, get away from here. Why do you think Road Dogg probably left too? I wouldn't be surprised if they were like, yeah, kick rocks, man. Get the hell out of here, bro. We don't need you either."
Road Dogg said why he left. He said you saw it on the show on Unreal is why you saw why he left.
So, dude, I mean, right? If the president is saying that they're using it already, I'm dead. He put himself out there. We know that they're using it. Like, he just said it. He should have never said it. And the chief guy is saying, "Yo, don't shut your mouth, man. Why the hell you keep spoiling it? Why are you saying that?" Because at the end of the day, it's been shit. Let's keep it real. It's been shit. You come up with it. I mean, no disrespect to the gingerbread man. Who came up with the stupid idea to bring a stupid ass gingerbread brand to bring in with Trick Williams and with Little Yachty, bro? Come on, man. Gingerbread
That's
man.
what they called Sami Zayn. They called him the gingerbread man the one show, and the next week they brought the guy out as gingerbread man.
Come on, man. Come on, dude. Like, come on, man. That's AI all day. All of a sudden,
Dude, you can't blame some stupid stuff on AI. That is an excuse to me. That is saying you're allowing WWE creative to get off by saying they're using AI. No,
Yep.
That's just bad creative. Bad creative. If you want it to be, if you don't like it, then it's bad creative. If they're using AI, that's on them. That's bad creative.
sad.
That's all you say. Because again, if you say it's because of AI, then they're using AI. That becomes an excuse, and there's no excuse. If you're going to use it, you're going to live and die with it. If you're not using it, then, and again, in that it said they're using it to see the analytics from, the different, regions and everything else. So, I mean, it allows them to see what content resonates where.
I'm pretty sure they asked AI, "Yo, how much can we raise the prices for WrestleMania and fans will still buy it?" AI, can you tell me that? How much can we elevate the prices where people will still buy it? Maybe they're doing that as well. Let it happen. Hey, AI is all around us. Let's just go ahead and embrace it, right? So put in the prices, put in the concession stands, entrances, analyze as well if they need to change, the wrestlers need to change their songs, if they need to change their attire, if we should change the way the ring looks, if we should put this and this. Just go embrace it. Screw it. Let's just do it. Do it. AI all day, man. AI all day. That's how TKO wants it. That's how Sean Stanley is picturing it as well, saying it's okay to do it. That's how a lot of the WWE fans are okay with it. Then screw it, man. Embrace the AI, 100%. We're in it all day. Why do you need us? As a matter of fact, I want them to embrace it even more. That way, next time, instead of seeing wrestlers come out, I could see robots. You know that when I was running the 5K, there was a robot running a 5K next to us? There was a freaking robot. Almost as tall as me. It was the same height as my mom. Running a 5K. Like if the robot needed to run a freaking 5K. What is the world getting themselves into, bro? We're so screwed. Thank God Thank God I was born early.
Frankie.
I'm not in my 20s or teens, bro.
Frankie.
I feel bad for my generation. That young generation is screwed over, bro.
Frankie, you ready for this? I said, act as WWE TKO executive. How high can we raise ticket prices for next year's WrestleMania? You ready for this? We can raise WrestleMania ticket prices higher than ever before, but only if we do it strategically, not greedily. They give you tiers. The front row seats go for 25 to 30,000. Actually 15 to 40 with the VIP buyers, not price sensitive. They want exclusivity, not value. Upper deck entry level between 300 to 900. Even casual fans accept this as fair for Mania. He said, this is where TKO can print money. We can implement surge pricing during high demand windows. Match card based adjustments. Roman, Cody, Punk, Rock, equal instant spikes. Geo-targeting pricing based on travel patterns. All driven demand forecasting already used in the UFC. This alone can increase revenues 15 to 25% without raising base prices. Justify the increase with experiences. Fans don't revolt if they feel the show is bigger. We justify price hikes by adding enhanced entrances, stadium-wide LED integration, exclusive merch drops, superstar meet and greet add-ons, WrestleMania week bundled experiences, priority access to Raw, SmackDown, and the Hall of Fame. Executive summary. As a TK, I could confidently say we can raise ticket prices 20 to 35% across the board and 50 to 100% on premium tiers while maintaining or even increasing demand.
Sean, we're screwed, bro. Our future's so screwed. My bad. Our future's so screwed, man. This is bullshit, and this is terrible, bro. That we have to live this, dude. I'm pretty sure they've implemented it. And now, when you mention that, you know what's funny? In the NFL draft, I remember I was watching some of the YouTubers that were doing the NFL draft. Shout out to TD Finstock. I do watch TD Finstock. I know a lot of you guys don't like him. But shout out to him. He went to the NFL draft with Roundtable Sports and went ahead and grabbed the hat. And it was an NFL draft hat, only available for the NFL draft. The patch was only available if you were there at the draft. That way, it would force people, hey, I want to go to the draft because I could only get that merch that day and during that time. Bro, everybody's using it. That's why, you know what? I don't know why I'm arguing. I should just embrace it.
That's all I'm saying. Like, whether it's right or wrong, it's here. It's here. So WWE, to me, would be dumb if they didn't try to get ahead of it so they know the pitfalls before it's too late, and then they're trying to figure it out because the race has already began. I mean, it's
terrible, man. Terrible. But you know what? Let's AI our asses out of this topic. And
all right, let's do it. You brought us into it.
Oh man, that was rough. I just hate AI right now. All right,
you could AI Pat McAfee and Jelly Roll in SummerSlam.
Oh my god. All right, so obviously, Sean, last week we spoke about it. There was a couple of people who got called up, and we also said there was going to be some releases.
Yep.
Unfortunately.
Woo,
and,
and
you know what? Actually, one of the stories that just came out too is, and I think it's BS because they're saying that TKO doesn't like dark characters. So that's one of the reasons why they're justifying the White Six getting released.
There's only the problem with them is, and it was the problem that Bray had. Rest in peace. There's only so much you can do with that, and that really is a character that really needs cinematic matches. And if you're not gonna do that, you can't.
You don't need cinematic.
Bro, come on! You saw Bray Wyatt against Seth Rollins. Hell in the Cell was one of the worst matches I think I've ever watched.
Yeah, I get it.
They put 67,000 chairs on top of them or something. Like, it's like, what are we doing?
But that's just bad freaking decisions of doing that. Like the stupid decision of Bray Wyatt versus LA Knight in a freaking, what was it? Like a
Mountain Dew match.
Mountain Dew match where the things are like, that's just stupid. That's just dumb. You could work with dark characters. Look at The Undertaker. You don't have to go and make it theatrical. It's all about the simple steps.
Yeah, but
the
see,
entrance,
that's
the
where
music,
yes, but
the
Undertaker,
way he wrestles.
yes, but Undertaker was very.
Don't give me that. Don't give me that. It was only the Undertaker. Bray Wyatt did a great job doing it too.
He did, but once the matches get underway, there's only so much you can do with that gimmick. That's the problem. That's the problem. If you're going to be a supernatural character, what are you going to do?
But they weren't simple supernatural characters. The entrance is supernatural. Their walk-in is supernatural. Stuff like that is
So
supernatural.
then once they get inside the ropes, it's like kryptonite. They become normal.
They have their characteristics of like different than a regular wrestler, like what the Undertaker would do. When the Undertaker,
No, unfortunately, man, I disagree with this one.
The Undertaker would go up like that, right? And you would be invested on that. The choke
But you also have to remember, the Undertaker rose from the coffin and went up in the air when they did the neon. They've done other things with the Undertaker back in the day.
Kane was another one. The fire blowing up.
Yes.
You again. It's what you bring to the table. It doesn't have to be all cinematic and all of a sudden be like, oh, now it has to be like you have, in order to be Bray Wyatt, you have to put him through 10 tables. No, you don't have to do all that. It's about coming in, about the entrance, the way he moves, all that stuff. That's what.
But then you kill the character in the match. Then
it doesn't kill the character in the match.
how does it not kill the character? If you're beating him down like Darby Allin, how does that not kill a Bray Wyatt or Bo Dallas, Uncle Howdy, or any of those guys? Like, I can understand the flock of guys, but if you're saying Uncle Howdy can control them or Bray Wyatt's lantern is the thing to control them,
not control,
then,
but give him life, give him the
controls them. Then I mean, if you got life, you got control.
No, not life in the sense that he's controlling them, but that's he is there overseeing them, watching them, making sure that the Wyatt legacy is still being represented correctly. That's what the whole lantern should have been, or the concept behind it. You know, like they were doing a great job interviewing them when Bray Wyatt was having those freak kind of conversations by himself. It wasn't supernatural. It was the character selling us, hey, he's listening to different things. This is what makes Uncle Howdy so different, because he's talking to himself and this and that. You don't see another wrestler do that. And it wasn't supernatural. It was just him feeding into that character. Look at Danhausen. He's a character that never takes off his paint. Why? Because the moment you take off your paint, he loses his mojo. That isn't Danhausen. Nobody.
Yeah, but that's the problem. Once you get between the ropes, you take away the character. You become naked when you wrestle.
Okay, so
unfortunately, that's the problem.
Do you think Danhausen's naked when he wrestles?
He does gimmick matches, though. I mean, I mean,
okay, so yes or no?
Could you do a match? Could you put Danhausen in a serious match 1-on-1 with The Miz?
If you sell him very well, why wouldn't you?
Okay.
Why wouldn't you?
All right.
Let's look at this. Tell me a gimmick.
But then let me ask you this. Let me do this then.
Belt.
Okay, so now
R-Truth won the hardcore belt. R-Truth has won the tag team belt, and his gimmick is a jokester, and it's worked.
Yeah, because you can joke in the ring and you can joke outside the ring.
No doubt Frank doesn't believe in Santa Claus. Yeah, no. You're an idiot, no doubt. but what I'm trying, okay, we're going off topic here. Okay. All right. So let me give you a quick list of all the people who got released. Because we definitely took a left turn. Kairi Sane, Aleister Black, Zelina, Uncle Howdy, Bo Dallas, Nikki Cross, Santos Escobar, Motor City Machine Gun, Dexter Loomis, Apollo Crews, some guy named Rowan. Who's Rowan?
Eric Rowan. That's the guy that was
Eric Rowan. That's
Rowan.
Yes, part of the Wyatt. Joe Gacy, Andre Chase, Zoe Stark, Alba Fire, Tyra May Steele. Who's that?
She was with the NXT. She actually won the LFG, the first season of LFG. She was the winner.
Okay. Serena Linton, Tyson,
Sure.
Tyreek, Chris Island, Malik Blade, Trill London, and Luca Crucifino.
Yeah.
Okay, so
And that's the first time Trill London's been released, by the way.
not surprised. All right,
You don't know who he is, do you?
no, who is he?
He used to be a cornerback for the Miami Dolphins, Trill Williams.
All right, I'm not surprised. All right, so let me ask you this: Number one, do you agree with these releases? Were they needed?
Releases were needed. I mean, you're going down. The interesting thing, which I found out today, was January to June, USA has a clause. SmackDown has to be 3 hours. July to December, it's 2 hours.
Yes, correct.
So in July, they'll be going down to 2 hours. You don't need all this talent. If you looked at it, I feel like a majority of it came from SmackDown.
Who is
Now,
the
it was like Zoe Stark was injured and things like that.
Well,
From
what they did to Zoe Stark is atrocious. Atrocious. She was cleared to fight, and they let her go. She
Well,
trained her ass off to recover from an injury that happened in the ring, and then they let her go. That's a dick move. The Wyatt Six were in a storyline with the Bloodline.
No, the storyline just ended.
They were in WrestleMania signing autographs to all these
Yeah.
guys, and then you let them go.
Yeah.
You had Aleister Black and Zelina Vega. Aleister Black was in the back a couple of times when Pat McAfee was doing all that stuff, and they had no idea what the hell I guess they were trying to come with an idea, and then they let him go.
Yeah.
That is bad. That is not.
Why is it bad? It's business, man. I mean, I'm sorry to tell you, bro.
Really?
I mean,
Well, yeah, of course it's business. Of course it's business. TKO business, baby.
yeah,
We
that's the thing.
gotta make that money.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, let's go ahead and let's throw out how much these guys make. Mr. Ari Emanuel, CEO of TKO, $67.4 million.
Yep, you don't make that by paying Aleister Black and Zelina Vega to sit in the back.
Mark Shapiro, president of TKO, hey, another $42.6 million.
You don't make that paying the Wyatt Six to show up.
Oh, really? Because they were in those shows. They were on SmackDown. I did see him on SmackDown. Nick Khan, president of WWE, $24.3 million.
Yep.
You know, Andrew Scheimer, chief financial officer of TKO,
Oh, yep.
$23.1 million.
There it is, buddy. There it is.
So let's just get rid of these guys who were not doing shit. They weren't in any shows. They weren't over there signing autographs. They weren't doing shit. Let's just get rid of them because you know what? We don't need them. We don't need them.
Well, you do need them because they're the ones running the company that's allowing them to be paid. Think about how much TKO is making as a company if these guys are taking home that money. I'm just saying. I'm just, look.
Sad, man. Sad. Very sad. Very sad that this is happening to WWE.
It happens every time, though. We say this. We say this every year. We say this every year when they let people go. Like, oh, they make money hand over fist, and they let people go. Well, bro, you can't have 67,000 people getting paid and not being on a show.
Sean, they were being
the
used.
Pat McAfee thing screwed Aleister Black.
They were being used. I could understand 100% if you weren't using them, or if they're okay. So that
Dude, how are they using them, bro? Like, you don't know what creative was going forward.
They were using them on the shows. What are you talking about?
They had everybody show up for WrestleMania, man.
I'm talking about the Y6 was on SmackDowns before WrestleMania.
Yes, to end the feud so they could get fired the next week.
Sami Zayn was in the whole Asuka thing running for how long? And they let her ass go.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Got to make room for Blake Monroe and those contracts coming up from NXT. Because when you come up from NXT, you don't make NXT money. You make main roster money. So therefore, we got to trim.
It's a dirty business by TKO. It's a dirty
How is it dirty business? It's business, bro.
Because you're letting go of wrestlers that are actually working. And then for no reason, it's like, for example, Sean, okay, you and me are working on let's do this.
Yep.
Me and you are doing this show.
Yep.
And all of a sudden, you go and you tell me, Frankie, you know what? I don't need you, bro. Goodbye. See you later. Without
Am I making 25.1 million?
Kairi Sane was making 25.1 million.
She's probably making about 1.5 to 2 million.
Well, I mean, she's not making the 64 million that this guy was making. That's for sure. Because they gotta make their money, right? They gotta make their money. There's no question about it. The 67.4 million that Ari Emanuel is making, right?
I get what you're saying from a fan standpoint, and from a person that sides with the wrestlers. It sucks, but at the same time, it is something when you sign the deal knowing this time is coming. And again, some of them might not have necessarily been. They're released, but their contract is not going to be renewed. So they will get paid until their contract ends.
Yeah, they got fired. In the other words, it's just wording different.
It is wording different. But get paid until their contract ends, at least, and most of them are probably up. What happened with Kairi Sane? I guarantee you, her contract is probably due before July. And they said, you know what? We're not going to renew you. You got 90 days. July, you become a free agent, and she'll be fine. She'll be making money in AEW. So I mean, it's not. I mean, I get it. It sucks. Unfortunately, it's business. It always happens.
There's no guarantee she's going to be getting another job with AEW or TNA, or if she just has to go to New Japan Wrestling. There's no guarantee. Because and again, you also got to take into account when you go out there, you're also going to be like, hey, do I really want to work for this company? Do I really want to deal with these type of characters? Do I really want to do this? Do you want one day or the other? Like it's easier said than done when you say, hey, you know, they could get a job here. They could get
okay, Frank, let me ask you this because Eric brought up a thing that I was thinking about and I totally forgot about. If you're a shareholder of TKO, are you happy that they let those wrestlers go, or because they brought you more money, or you rather just say, no, you know what? Let's keep Kairi there, keep paying him because I don't want my investment to pay off. Because again, it is a publicly traded company.
They lose money. Are they still charging the same with the Wyatt Six and with all these people that were there?
Now because you cut about 6 contracts over $7-8 million right there.
Did that by having the Wyatt Six, by releasing all these people, are we gonna see the prices of WrestleMania go down or any of these shows go down? They're still making their money. It doesn't freaking matter whether you let them go. The chairman.
Is working? Is this working?
The stockholders
working?
They don't give a damn who you release or who you don't release. As long as you make money, is what
exactly.
They care
about. And how do you make money? You don't make money by paying people to sit at home or sit in the back. You don't make the money.
Kairi Sane was working. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I'm not complaining about the people.
Frankie, I'll say it again. Her contract was probably coming up soon.
Sean, again, you just finished saying we're not going to pay somebody who was not working. Kairi Sane was working. The Wyatt Six was working.
Frankie, you're using shit that was going on before WrestleMania. What was creative after? Do you know for a fact? Were they booked on the next SmackDown? Was she booked on the next Raw? No, you don't. No, you don't. Probably. Well, guess what? She's probably not getting signed back to the WWE.
Yeah.
It sucks. It sucks, but it's a way of doing business. And to sit here and be like, oh, TKO's the bad person. We know they're the bad person. We know they're greedy. But it's business, bro. And they have to answer to shareholders. The shareholders don't give a damn if their money's going up on whether Kairi Sane is scheduled at SmackDown or not, or at Raw or whatever. They don't care. Their bottom line is, my prices are going up. And that's all they care about. As a stockholder and a shareholder.
So you didn't need to fire people who were working and were doing something for your show, contributing to your show, is what I'm trying to tell you. Now, if you had people who were sitting in the back,
do you think
who were
people
not
pay
working,
tickets going, oh, I got to go see Kairi Sane?
They were part of the show, Sean. There were
yes, and you don't think somebody else can replace? They moved right along with Asuka and Io the next night on Raw.
What I'm getting from you is that, like, hey, you know, you're okay getting laid off tomorrow. Are you okay with that?
It's a business, bro. It's business.
So are you okay with that?
It happens, right? I mean, it's life, right? Do I want it to happen for somebody? Do I want it to happen for somebody? No, I'm not saying that.
That's why I don't see eye to eye with you. I'm telling you the truth. It's like if I'm working at look, the company I work for, they have shareholders. But they're not laying all the employees out. Hey, let's get rid of that guy because we need to make more money. No, they find ways to generate more money. That's all it is. And if I'm a good worker, why should I get laid off? I'm being
Frankie.
used.
First off, you're not an independent worker, though.
They have a contract.
Yes, they have an independent contract. You're not an independent contractor.
No, but I still have.
Okay, so that's the thing.
So the technicality is because I'm not an independent contractor. So let me do my job as an independent contractor. But then you know what, man? See you later. You're okay, and it's okay, and it's okay because it's business.
Frankie, but let me ask you this, Frankie. Okay, let me ask you this. Okay, you want to talk about the Kyrie Sane and them, and it sucks, and I understand that. But why didn't Oscar get let go? Why didn't Io Sky get let go? Why didn't Chelsea Green get let go? I'm trying not to use like the Codys and stuff because we know the reason for them. But again, for everyone that you name that got let go, I can again, if you make yourself, unfireable, you'll kind of be unreleasable, I guess, in a way. And it sucks, and I get that, but it is honestly, unfortunately, a part of the business. There's releases every year, twice a year usually.
I get that, Sean. It just feels like you're from the vibes that I'm getting from you is that you're okay with them releasing somebody who's actually working and doing their job. I don't feel right. I think that's messed up.
Frankie, let me ask you this, Frankie. All right, I don't know what.
And if I wasn't up, and sorry for interrupting you, but if I was an up and coming wrestler, I would seriously, really consider not working for WWE if this is the way they're going to treat their employees. Because yes, you're an independent contractor.
Do you say the same thing about AEW when they just don't answer people back and just
shady as hell? Yeah, shady as hell. Especially if they've been working. Here's my thing. I don't have a problem with you being let go if you've been not being shown or you're out on the loops where they can't find any storylines for you or anything like that. I get it. But when you're working, if I'm going into work on a Monday night and putting in my 2 cents, whether it's 1 second in the camera or a 10-minute segment, I don't care. But I'm doing my job. And I go back and here we go another one. And I'm doing it again. And I'm doing it again. And then from a week later, they tell me, hey, Frankie, I'm sorry, man. We're not renewing your contract. That's it, bro. That's a slap in the face, dude. That's like, damn, dude. This is the company I work for? Forget about this company. I'm never working for this company because this company really doesn't care about their contractors, about the whole business. Like, I understand we're independent contractors, but there has to be a level of respect for the person. You have to. When I go DJ and I work with other event companies and I go ahead and I say, I know that my name, Frankie Fresco, is representing my Frankie Fresco logo, my trademark. But at the same time, it's also representing that event company over there. And if I do a shitty job, that event company is going to look at me and be like, yo, Frankie, what the hell are you doing? But if I'm working and I'm doing a good job, which was what the White Six were doing, which was what Kairi Sane was doing, which was what Zelina Vega and Aleister Black were doing. And then they let him go, and they're like, yo, we're not going to sign him? That's fucked up.
Well, Frankie, we're having the same conversation if they let anybody else go, too. You're telling me nobody else was doing what? What isn't anybody else doing?
Oh, well, the other people...
They're all working. I mean,
not all of them. We know it's truth. They weren't like, look, obviously, when you look at... Let me pull up the list because I had it on my phone.
And by the way, it looks like Kyrie wanted to go back to Japan anyways.
Yeah, I think she is going back to Japan.
Yeah. No, she's already back. She wanted to go back. I think she got let go to go back personally. She wanted to personally go home. So
maybe. All right, we're over our time. Let's try to crunch in these last topics and then we'll finish it.
Well, you were going to say something. What were you going to say about the releases? You said you were
No,
looking at the releases or something.
yeah, I was gonna say that some of them are not putting the same work. Like Santos Escobar, we don't. He obviously he hasn't been putting in the work because he's been hurt. So I could understand why they would let him go. I feel bad that they did that to Zoe Stark, but I could understand the concept behind it. Hey, look, she's hurt. There's no story. It's gonna take a while to build her up, even though it's gonna be the same crap to probably build up some of the people that came up from NXT. But I could justify and be like, okay, it makes sense to I guess let that go. But when you have people who are actually working, that is what pisses me off. When do you got people now? If now again, it could be more than that. It could.
Yeah, but also it's a matter of creative had something for them because they were working through the onset of the whole thing that they started with them with the Halloween Horror Nights. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, again, moving forward, once the Bloodline feud ended, what was next for them? I don't think there was anything, which is why they let them go.
Well, let's talk about what No Dodgers finished saying. He said Frankie and Sean too, because it's both of us. Do you like the new talent that has moved up? And obviously we got NXT that got some people up on. All of a sudden now we got Tristan Angels, Evil from New Japan, Kelly Armstrong, Will Cross, Tate Wilder, and Lizzie Rain. I don't know if I missed anybody else, but those are some of the people that came up. I'll go first. As from this list of people that I see in NXT, I heard good things about Will Cross. I heard that he's very talented and that he has the opportunity to make it big. He's very different than most of the guys in wrestling right now. So that would be one. I guess the next one I would honestly feel like intrigued to find out if it's going to work out or not is, of course, Evil, because he's from New Japan. He's been in New Japan for like 18 something years or some shit. And he's been like working with a lot of these, like a lot of people know him. But unfortunately, what tends to happen with a lot of the wrestlers that come from Japan on the male side is that they don't know how to use them. Like they come over here, they do decent, and then they kind of fall out. I mean, you have Shinsuke Nakamura. That's why I put Antonio Inoki, Ultimo Dragon, Kenta. You know you have all these people that they bring over. They're like good attractions, but then they don't find a way to keep them, interesting or in storyline. So I'm a little bit concerned with Evil because I don't know if that's
I'm
where.
not.
I don't think he's gonna. I think he'll have a decent run, and then I think the moment he moves up to the main roster, they probably won't find anything for him, and they'll probably lose him, and he'll probably leave. And maybe the only reason he made it to the WWE is probably because this girl, Io Sky. He's Io Sky's fiance. So
Yep.
what about?
Which, as long as EO stays there, I think he'll stay there.
I don't know about all that, but maybe. What do you think about the new talent? What do you think about the?
I love Will Cruz. I love that guy, dude. Dude looks like he couldn't do anything, and then he freaking is crazy, man. I love the whole thing they did with Tony D'Angelo, with all of the guys incoming. Basically, again, it kind of
Introducing them right to us.
it introduced them, but also laid claim to, hey, we're here. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not like you just did a pack. And again, I like it better when you get to the main roster and they kind of reintroduce you. Unless, WWE, I think, does it right. Like with the Evil thing. It was an introduction with the war symbol in Japanese for like 2 weeks. You're getting the packages and everybody's like, you know what's happening. And then all of a sudden he comes and he gives a shirt and it's the same sign. So, like, again, what happens after this? It's going to be on them. But I can tell you now, they have all the talent in the world. I mean, to me, Cruz doesn't get hired if Vince is here, but I'm happy he's not because I think that dude could be something, man. Watching him and his moveset and things he's done, dude, it's amazing because you don't expect it from him. I think that's what makes it even better is when you watch him, you're like, what? He did what? Okay. That's the thing. The other guys, I'm very interested to see the gals as well. I like the move ups, the call ups. I like the fact the way they brought out Fatal Influence. I thought was fantastic. It kind of reminded me of the Riot Squad when they brought them out at the beginning. Hopefully, it doesn't end for them like it did those girls. And then also, so Yeah, no, I think NXT's good. The thing that I don't like, and again, we'll talk about it over and over. The greed of TKO is anybody that was making money is now moved up. So I think you hurt the brand of NXT because now you got to reestablish everybody.
I mean, and I agree with you to a certain extent. I also feel that, you know, and another girl, I didn't mention anybody, but Lizzie Rain, she's a really good one. She's from Europe.
Yep.
She
Yep.
had that hell of a kick, um, with her match with Nikita Alliance. When it comes to the talent that moved up, I feel like I feel like they're trying to go more youth as well. I think that's one of the main reasons they kind of like pushed it faster because they feel like, hey, we got some of these guys are in their 50s and their 40s, and we gotta start introducing our fan base to the new generation. You know, this new WWF generation where we're gonna be able to sell these characters over and these wrestlers over to the fan base. So we got to push them through quickly because they're not getting any younger. You know, CM Punk is old, and a lot of people are criticizing him. Roman Reigns is up there. Seth Rollins, you know, he's injured all the time now. You have a couple of these guys and gals that are older, and can they hang? You know, Charlotte Flair. There's a reason why Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss had to be teamed up together. People were tired of Charlotte Flair, so it goes with the thing. So I do feel like you're right to a certain extent. Greed. They're getting paid money, so they have to move a little quicker. But I also feel they need to move up some of these guys that are younger. You know, Ethan Page wasn't that. Ethan Page is young. Ricky Starks is young. Blake Monroe is young. I don't think they're that old. I don't think they're in their 40s. Now, no, I'm looking at Sean's face. I'm pretty sure he's going to be fat checking Ricky Starks' age and
Yeah, Ethan Page is 36, so he's got a couple years before 40.
yeah, Ethan Page is still.
This is because I know they've been around, which doesn't mean anything, but I know they were around the Indies for a while, so that's why I was checking. Because sometimes they start real young. Yeah, Ricky's 36 too, so they're both 36.
They're in their 30s, so that's not bad. They're not in their 40s or 50s. Blake Monroe, I'm pretty sure, is maybe in her mid 30s as well, if I'm not mistaken. So you have some of these guys that are moving up in gals, so I don't mind that. And yes, Fatal Influence did surprise me. I didn't know that they were gonna bring all of them up. I just
Yeah, I didn't think they'd bring all of them up now.
but they introduced them really well.
Yeah.
Here's my problem with Fatal Influence. I really feel that Fatal Influence is gonna have like about a year run, and then I think they're gonna lose steam, if that. I feel like they're gonna have maybe a year run, and then they're gonna lose steam. And that's my concern with Fatal Influence. That's just unfortunate, but that's where I'm going. Look at Julia. I think Julia by next year she'll probably be one of the unfortunate casualties being released. So
I don't know. I know we talk about it all the time. I mean, again, and the only problem with a lot of this is, and Mariah's only 27. She's been wrestling a long time too.
damn.
Yeah, I didn't realize. Like, that's where it throws me off because sometimes they can start, wrestling younger than what you think, and it throws off. That's why I went to check Ricky Saints and Ethan Page because I was like, maybe they aren't. They just feel like they've been around for a long time. I lost my train of thought. I'm sorry. What are we talking about? Fatal Influence.
Fatal Influence got called up.
Yeah. No, I mean, my worry is, and again, it's the Riot Squad. It's all these groups that get called up. They never work out. One usually stands out, and it's usually not the one you expect, honestly. I mean, in the Riot Squad, it kind of did, because I thought it was going to be either Ruby Riot, or Liv were going to be the two that were going to make it, and Liv did, and Ruby could have, but she's doing motherhood now and everything else, so kudos to her. Sarah also is doing motherhood as well. So, things change, different priorities. But when I watched it the other night, the fact they had them take out those four made it feel big. And then you put JC Jane against Rhea. Like, I mean, you introduced them as they're big. They're there to,
And they got a good reaction from the crowd.
to mean business. And I don't know how much that's piped in or how much is real, I don't know anymore with WWE, so I get the crowd reactions and things like that. But if that was a legit, because I'm sitting there watching and listening to it, but then I look at the fans and they're kind of just standing there.
No, maybe the front end fans are, but some of the back ones that they showed, they were showing them boo.
Okay, all right, good deal then. Again, I know they pipe in stuff, and they again when you talk about the AI stuff, I know they do that as well. So it's like okay, you lose a lot to me when you if you start using it, you use it. If you don't, you don't. But
I'm gonna ask
you know.
AI how long am I gonna last on the Square Circle Digest? Maybe it'll.
Hold on, I'll do it right now. It said about another 10 minutes.
All right. Last topic before we go, because I know you got to do another show. So, the Hulk documentary. Did you watch it?
Yes, yes, I did. Yep.
All right, talk to me, man. What did you like and what you did?
Look, man, I thought it was once. You know what the problem was? Once I saw the very beginning, and I saw the three letters pop up, WWE, I was like, oh God. Okay. All right. So this is not it's not going to get into a lot of the stuff, and it did and it didn't. Very vague on the one I thought would be addressed more, but they also didn't address that a whole lot. And they kind of made it to me feel like he was getting booed because of his political beliefs, and maybe for most that might be right. But I don't feel like that was why he was alienated in the wrestling business. And in that part, all he said was, I would have done some things differently. Doesn't say what he would have done differently. He just said, I would have done some things differently, which is what he's always said, which is why a lot of people have been like, the fluff things. And it's hard because, again, it's separating. And then Triple H even said, he's like, when I had to call him, I didn't fire Hulk Hogan. I fired Terry Bollea. And that's where, and again, the funny part too was they had the first wife in there more than, they didn't even interview the second wife. The second wife wasn't even involved in there, just brought up a little bit. His daughter Brooke was not in it because, again, apparently afterwards,
she said she did not want to be part of it.
Well, no, she went on Bubba Love Sponge, and Nick Khan threw out the invite through Nick Hogan, and Nick Hogan didn't bring it up to her. Although she probably would have turned. She did say she would have turned it down. Probably she doesn't want to be involved in the WWE stuff. She doesn't want to, because she wants it to be, again, when WWE gets involved, it's going to be to make their product, not look bad, and again, they didn't get into any of the issues about the day. Again, this is a documentary, and whether you wanted to be Hulk Hogan or Terry Bollea, you went back and forth on both until it came to real sticky issues, except for one, the Donald Trump one. The Donald Trump one, you went in detail. The WrestleMania 5s, the 6s, you had all that stuff. You stayed out of politics until they tried to assassinate him, and then you're full blow ahead. Which, whatever, that's however you want to go. But then why didn't you go back into the sex tape, the Gawker, the drug use, the way he died? Let's just throw. If you want this to be a documentary, you can't pick and choose what works because you're WWE, and then let it fly. I loved a lot of the stories. I loved the behind the scenes stuff. I loved Hogan, talking candidly about some of the stuff. But I don't feel like he addressed some of the things that needed to be addressed. And again, they wanted to do it in 3 months. He didn't make it to the 3. They were going to sit back down and redo some stuff. Maybe things would have been differently because unfortunately he passed away. So he couldn't get to do more. I don't know if they were going to press him more on other stuff or what. So, to me, it's an unfinished product, and then WWE got involved, and I didn't understand where Natalya fitted into any of this.
Well, on my end, and we'll do, because I really want to talk about this topic, so we'll go more in depth as far as like each episode if you're cool with
Yeah,
it next
yeah,
week.
yeah. We'll break down each episode
Yeah,
weekly. We'll do episode 1 next week. I'll rewatch it again.
I'll rewatch it as well. That way we could. What I agree with you. I did not like. I wish they would have gone a little bit more into detail with some of the
Yeah,
topics,
yeah.
and I wish they would have gone ahead and, it's a documentary. Like, tell us what, tell us about Hogan. I get the wrestling part, cool. I like the interview. It was cool. It was nice seeing what he had to say, and obviously he didn't say too much because he didn't think he was gonna pass away. A little bit surprised about some of the people that they brought onto the documentary. Some of the names, some of the faces, like you said, Natalia was on there. Trump makes an appearance as well.
Well, the Trump thing made sense as they tied it in at the end, because they again, I felt like they tried to make that the reason he got the reaction in LA, the booing and everything else, and I don't necessarily know that that's the only reason. That's all I'm going to say on the whole thing is like I felt like they tried to make that because he was standing up for Trump and he did the Republican thing, and they knew when he went to Netflix in California because of the political climate, he was going to get booed out of the building. I felt like that was kind of a get out of jail free card because WWE did it that way.
And I agree with you that they didn't show his second wife. I think they replaced it with Jimmy Hart.
Well, it was his manager, and that's the other thing. Like again, I take everything with the Bubba the Love Sponge with a grain of salt. Okay, I get where he fits in and all this stuff, but when his daughter says, there were people that were yes men, they were just getting paid, they were getting a paycheck as long as he was Hulk Hogan, he was doing his appearances, they were making money every day.
Yeah.
And again, I don't know who those people were, but they did make it seem like Jimmy Hart, unfortunately, was one of those guys. I don't know that to be the case.
Well, you know what? We'll dissect this a lot better. I like the idea of doing one each week. We'll do one.
Yeah, that way we can just kind of hammer away
and that way, and then we could take a look and see exactly this is our initial review of what we thought about it. But we'll go into that one by one, especially if you guys have not tuned in and watched it. I suggest you watch it. That way you.
There you go, Adrian. There you go. You said it. The elephant in the room.
But that's the show for you guys. I want to thank everybody that tuned in. Don't forget to follow. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to go ahead and share with your friends. The Frankie Fresco channel and the Stanley Media House. I know Sean needs to go. I need to go as well. So sorry, we got to cut it short. We went 2 hours still. So we always try to figure out. We had a lot, and we could have talked way more.
Yeah, I mean, we could have done probably another 45 minutes on just the Hogan documentary, breaking each one down.
But now we'll do one episode. So next
we'll do one each episode. We'll give about 30 minutes each show to breaking down the documentary. Some might take a little bit longer, but we'll digest your question, Adrian.
Yeah, and if you guys watch the documentary and you have a question, throw it in the chat for next week when we do the first episode. That way we could go and dissect it in detail. So
give your social media stuff, Frankie.
Yeah. Again, follow me at Frankie Fresco on all social media platforms. Don't forget to hit the like. Don't forget to hit the subscribe. And if you're watching the replay again, please guys do that as well. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys.
Check me out, SS_Sports Talk, Stanley Media House everywhere else, Stanley Media House Network on YouTube. Hit that subscribe, hit the like, go to Frankie Fresco. Hit the subscribe, hit the like. Frankie Fresco, thank you again, sir, for all your time. I know you got to get out of here.
You too.
Stop some balls tonight, buddy. Don't let the balls hit you in the face, all right?
Yeah, I got to go play some soccer. I know you got to attack some NASCAR. So no doubt. And you are up next, so... I'll pass the bucket over to No Doubt. That way you can talk some NASCAR.
There we go. About 8:30, we'll be going live talking some NASCAR. We'll keep you updated. But between 8:30, 9, somewhere around there, I know No Doubt is doing some work right now. And in the words of the great Gordon Soley, so long from the Sunshine State.
That's what's